Hello everyone, welcome back to the Budget Sportsman. It's Friday night, a beautiful night in the fall here, and I am headed out to a spot that I'm calling right now the Public Land Buck Nest. If you watched what's probably the last video on my channel, I talked about finding this spot with a huge group of bachelor bucks, and I'm headed back into that spot. Now some of you in that video said that you didn't believe me because I didn't have any footage. I'm sorry. It's just the way it worked out that night on the ground, but it really did happen. I really did see all those bucks. And now to add insult to injury about the video, I was in here one other time last Saturday and hunted with my friend Nate, and unfortunately we didn't get any good footage that night either. We did see a couple of bucks on the way in and the way out, but nothing from our setup. We did have one doe come in and bust us, but by the time we realized she was there, we were pinned down and couldn't move the camera. So once again, no good footage from in this spot. Now tonight I've got plenty of time. I'm trying to get in here early, and the last time we were in here I spotted a tree that I think I can get a hang on stand up in. So I'm bringing a stand with me tonight. It's a little bit of weight, but I think if I can get up in it, it's going to be a huge advantage over the setup we had last two times on the ground. So I really don't know, kind of last time's experience where we were on the ground and didn't see much, and not exactly sure if the deer were moving where I thought they were. Kind of discouraged me, but I'm gonna just sneak up in there, hopefully get a tree. That tree's probably less than 100 yards from where they're bedded, so I'm gonna have to be quiet, take my time. This is not always my forte. So anyway, stick with me, wish me luck, and let's see if we can't get a public land deer on the ground. Well guys, we've had a big change of plans. I toted that hang on tree stand all the way in here because where we were sitting the other night there was a couple of big pine trees, and I thought, well, they're big enough to put a tree stand in. And I really thought maybe I'd be able to climb up the branches and not even use that many steps and then get the hang on up in there. When I went over there, I realized there's just too many branches. Even if I could get up there, I would have 0 shooting lanes. And here in Pennsylvania, you're not allowed to cut off limbs on public land. So honestly, I kind of walked around a little bit looking for another spot. I hope I didn't booger it up. I didn't hear anything spook, didn't hear anything run. But I've had to move back away from the bedding area. I'm probably now 150, 175 yards away from the bedding area rather than 100, which is not what I wanted. But right behind me is the exact spot that I saw those bucks the first night I was in here. Unfortunately, it's 2 weeks later. There's been pressure. Things are changing. I'm afraid they're not going to come through this spot in daylight. But even if a doe comes through, I'm going to take a good hard look at it and maybe consider filling a doe tag. It's just hard to say. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my little seat to sit on from the ground. I'm really not prepared to hunt from the ground. I brought my tree arm instead of my tripod, so I'm really not prepared. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the cushion off the tree stand and sit on the ground over here. Probably not in a real ready position, but it's 4:20 now. It gets dark almost a little bit before 7 o'clock, so I've got 2.5 hours. So probably for a little while I'll just sit over here, be quiet, let things calm down, and then when it gets time for that last hour, I'll probably either stand or kneel where I actually be able to shoot. Or if I hear anything coming or see anything moving around, I might stand up and get ready. But anyways, that's the plan. I'm a little disappointed, not exactly what I thought. You should see how this camera arm's on this little pine tree right here. I'll show you in a second, but anyways, that's going to be the plan. I'm going to hang out for a while, enjoy the evening. I just had a spike come in behind me, but I couldn't get the camera turned around. But now I'm worried if the other bucks are with him that they'll come behind me. I'm not sure what to do. I'll just keep the camera pointed out this way. Hopefully one will come through. Well guys, it's the end of legal shooting light. I was definitely in the action tonight, even just standing here. I didn't get all of it on video, but I did get some. I had turned around and I had a spike come behind me at 30 yards. By the way, spikes are not legal here. But he was directly downwind, staring at me. I had no cover. And he never snorted, he just kind of wandered off. And then I had another deer down here that did snort. And then everything calmed back down, and then I started seeing does out here, probably 60, 70 yards. And then I had 3 come down through here, probably at 40. And then I had the spike come back, and he literally walked right here to within 10 yards before he saw me. But he never snorted, he just bounded off. And the big buck was behind him. And I'm really happy that I at least got some footage of him. He was within 50, but just not a shot I was going to take. I'm going to tell you what, though, self-filming from the ground is really, really hard. You can get away with a little movement in the tree, but on the ground it's a whole different story. But anyways, it was an awesome night. I'm not sure if you've been able to hear this or not, but there's been a pack of coyotes that have been howling. So I am going to pack up my stuff as quick as I can and get back to the car. Thank you for watching. Until next time, remember to get off YouTube and get outdoors into God's great creation.